Hey guys, it's Maymay and it is time to assemble Vinnie's snowman family. Now here's what's cool. If you follow me on Facebook, you saw that I showed a picture of Vince at Michael's with me. Vince is my husband, by the way, if you don't know. Him helping me plan this project. And oh my goodness, I think he did good. So I'm going to jump right into it. It's going to be a quick one. This is one of those don't blink. It's going to be quick, but it's going to be a big payoff. So let me show you what we're working with. The things you're going to need are 3 different size of these clear acrylic are they acrylic? Nope, they're plastic. Craft plastic ornaments. You can use the glass ones, but we found the clear plastic ones and we thought they were fine. You'll also need 3 different size glass jars of your choosing. These are the ones we chose. We wanted this shape to kind of be consistent, so you can see how they're kind of tall and, you know, oblong. Doesn't have to be this shape. You can do whatever you want to, but I'm going to show you how we're going to do it. And we have 3 of them. So basically I have a baby, and I have a mommy, and then we have a daddy. Okay, let me tell you how long this one is. This daddy is like 12 inches tall. This mommy is 7.5, and then the baby is 5 inches. Okay, so when you're picking your ornament, what you need to be really sure of is that when you remove this piece, which we're not going to need, so you can discard this or save it for another project, you want to make sure that that little piece will fit into the glass. See where we're getting? It's already cute, right? Okay, so that one's good. Now my medium size gets the medium size ornament. So I have a small, a medium, and it also fits inside. Okay. So we're good on that one. And then I have this large ornament. I'm going to take this piece out. See how big that one is? And you just want to make sure that it will fit inside there. And it does. Good deal. So the next thing you'll want to do, turn that where it won't roll, is clean off any stickers that are showing. Now these 2 jars are fine. They don't really have any stickers showing, but this one has this big one. So I'm going to go clean this real quick. Okay, so I cleaned that sticker off and I'm going to set that aside. Now a couple more things you're going to need. I'm going to be using top hats. Now these top hats are the ones that I get from Jamie at Punch Place Plus. So there's a larger one, and then look at this tiny one she carries. I love it. It's so cute. Okay, so I'm going to use 2 top hats. But for the baby, I'm not going to use a hat at all. Because, you know, I don't think that, you know, there's got to be a time when a snowman grows into his top hat, in my opinion. And this little guy is too young yet for his top hat. So he's not going to have a hat. But the mommy and the daddy are. So I have the 2 top hats. And I'm going to need E6000. And we're going to talk about how to use this because I want to make sure that we're using it correctly. This stuff. This is celebrated crinkle paper. And I'm going to use this to turn my snowman white. So let's get started. Because of the size of the baby one, I'm probably going to use it a lot to show you what to do, and then you'll just repeat those steps in the larger one. But the larger one is so big it's going to be hard to get into the camera frame, but I'm still going to show you as much as I can. But basically everything I do to this one, you'll do to that one, with the exception of adding the hat. So first, take your paper crinkles, and you want to open these up and kind of dig in. Now I bought 2 bags of these because I didn't know how many I would need. And I still don't. So we're going to start stuffing these crinkles into our snowman body. And we will decide based on how it looks when we want to stop. The one thing you need to be careful of with these crinkles is some of them are not very white in the package. So get the whitest ones you can find. Because if not, you'll kind of get a dingy snowman. So I'm going to stuff that. And you can see how that's starting to look. I think I'm going to do a little bit more. And that should do it. So I'm going to stuff all 3 of the bodies just like that. See? Okay. Okay, so now all 3 of the bodies are stuffed with the white crinkly paper. Now, you don't have to do this part. You can leave them clear, which would be very elegant, or you could stuff them with glitter. You could stuff them with beads, anything you want to put inside your snowman. I just really like the look of this because it feels kind of like snow, and in Alabama we don't get a lot of snow, so we're going with the white. So these guys are stuffed, and I can put them aside. Now we're going to work on the ornament section, and I want to stuff them too because I want the heads to be white also. So you're just going to take some of your crinkle and just push it in there. This will be a little more difficult because you got such a small hole to deal with, but you can always use a pencil or a pen to help you poke it through. Okay, so now all 3 of the heads are stuffed and all 3 of the bodies are stuffed. Now before we move on, I want to connect them to each other. And I'm going to use the E6000 to do it. And like I said, I'm probably going to work with this small guy so I can show you how to do it with him because it'll be easier in the camera. Okay, so I'll move these out of the way. Now E6000 is a product that needs to be mated. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'll tell you what that means. Okay, when you have a product that needs to be mated together, it means you need to apply adhesive to both pieces. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this E6000, you'll apply it to both pieces, and then you'll let it sit for whatever amount of time it says on the container of what you're using. E6000, it says a couple minutes. So what I'm going to do is run a bead around the top of my glass bottle. And I feel like less is more with E6000. Like you run a bead here, okay? Then so that I'll know where to put my other ring here, I'm just going to sit this inside and let that E6000 touch and then take it apart. And now I know where they will touch when I put them back together, and I can run another just small bead in that area. Now, I don't know the science behind this, but it reminds me of rubber cement. You know, we all know that you have to put rubber cement on one side and then the other, and then rubber cement on the other before you bring them together, and that helps them to adhere better. It's the same concept. Just read the back of your E6000 and it'll tell you, or the back of your adhesive, and it'll tell you exactly what to do, because E6000 is a one-part epoxy. And I've read all this on the package, so that's where you learn it from, okay? So just read them. Now once you've got your adhesive on both pieces, just sit them aside for about 2 minutes before you put them together. I'm going to go ahead and put the adhesive on all of the little necks of the snowmen. Okay, so I've let these to sit aside from each other for a couple of minutes. Now it's time to mate them. So I'm going to take this ring of E6000 and mate it to the one that's on the edge of my snowman neck. And by doing that, it allows that E6000 to cure together. Now, it takes time to cure, okay? It's not going to be ready in, 10 or 15 minutes. This is a 24-hour or longer cure time. So you should be fine, because these items are just going to sit somewhere. You're not going to be, playing with them or moving around too much. But just let this guy cure in the position you want it to dry in. If you lay it down, you could get some shifting, so make sure you leave it standing up, okay? Let's do the next one. So I have Mama here, and I will mate the other one to it. Just get a good seal there. That's cute. See, Mama Snowman. Trust me, it'll look really cute once we get them decorated. You gotta trust on this one, or you gotta trust Vince, because he did this one. He's very smart with this. So here we go. Now we'll stick this one to this one. That's the big guy, okay? And he's all up in your face at this point, but I'm going to stick him together. Now I'm going to set those aside for a minute while I work on what will be their scarves. So I was going to use burlap for scarves, but I want to show you this. I think this ribbon is really cute. So I just tied a red lace ribbon on the Mama, and hers is kind of drooping a little bit to look more like a feminine scarf than to be tied really snug around her neck. We'll probably do something else to that, but I just tied that on. And I'm going to do the same thing with the baby. And what I've decided to do is not make them matchy-matchy. I think that'll be cute. And this just reminds me of a baby. So I'm going to tie this around the little neck like a scarf. And the cool thing about doing it like this is each year, if you change your home decor, you can change the ribbons to match. They don't have to remain the same this way. So now you can see our little guy has his scarf on, and now let's do the daddy. And now I have this houndstooth and there's red and black houndstooth ribbon for the daddy. So I'm going to do that real quick. He may be hard for you to see because he's going to take up so much space, but I'll lean him forward and show you once he's tied. Okay, so daddy has his scarf on now. So cute. Okay, so now we'll set those aside, and now remember, I'm not putting a hat on the baby. You could put a hat here. You know what you could do? If you had like a little kid's sock, you could just cut the heel off of it, or actually, cut the heel off, leaving the toe intact, and just roll it and put a little hat. But he's super cute for me. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue Mama's hat down. I'm going to use the E6000 and do it just like we just did with putting the two pieces together. But I'm going to put the glue to the hat first, sit the hat, touch up this glue, and let it sit. So I have my glue on my hat. I'm going to touch it to the top of her head. I'm going to let hers be a little angled. I think it'll be cuter like that for a girl. Then I'll lift that up, and that tells me where I need to place my glue. Okay, so let that sit for a second. And then touch this up. And set that aside for about 2 minutes, and then I'll put them together. And now I'm going to do the big guy too. So they're sitting here drying, and I've just put the hats on after I've waited a few minutes for the glue. But I think Mama needs a little piece of jewelry, and I have this little gingerbread man button that is so cute. And I'm going to run some baker's twine through it to tie a little bow. Okay, so I have a little bow tied. And because I said I want to be able to remove this, you know, I might want to change it next year, I'm actually going to use a glue dot, because a glue dot will stick to this pretty good. You just got to get it worked in. So I've got the glue dot on the back, and I'm going to stick it on the scarf. Now you probably won't be able to see this until pictures. I'll try to. Let's see. And if you're making these more permanent, just hot glue it on. It'll be fine. So there's her little brooch on her scarf, which I think is super cute and just makes her look like Mommy. So now that I've got these guys all assembled, I've decided it's time to decorate them. And this is the fun part. So I'm going to play around and decorate like the hat brims and things like that, and just kind of show you some of the stuff I'm using. I don't know if I'll use it all. This is some of that, let me get the wrapper for it. This is, what's it called? Nothing. It's just a mini garland, and it's wired. And I thought this might be cute wrapped around their hats, like if they had garland around the tops of their hats. So I'm going to use some of that. I think so. And I have some ribbon that matches the baby's scarf. I think I'm going to add that to the mama's hat to kind of tie them together. I have this poinsettia button that was sent to me, and I'm going to use it, maybe a couple of them, but I know one of them, and maybe a couple other things. But I'm going to start with this. Now, for this mama's hat, you can see that it's really not very tall. So I'm going to maybe fold this in half. Yeah, because anything taller, I don't know, tall's kind of cute too. I think I'm going to fold it in half. I think I'll be happier if I do that. So I'm just going to take this and run some hot glue, just a bead, like so. Then fold this over. So that way I'm using the same ribbon, but I'm not having to like cut it so that it'll fray and all that good stuff. We're just going to do it like this to give myself enough to wrap around her hat and make like a decorative, not the brim, but like the ribbon around a hat. That's what we're going to do. That should be enough. This is where you can really play and have fun, is the decorating part. I think it is anyway. So I'm going to cut this straight here to make this clean. I'm going to come to the back of her hat. I know this is so hard for you guys to see, but when you see pictures, all this will make sense. So I'm going to come right back here to the back of her hat and put a little hot glue. And just put that in place. Now you can do this at the front of her hat if you're going to cover it up with like a flower or something like that. But I'm going to put some of that garland on too, so I think it won't matter where I attach it. So you can see how we got that little trim around her. That's cute. Now I want to see how this garland does. So this garland is like little holly leaves, which I think are really cute. And I'm just going to kind of make it into the shape of that brim to kind of make it easier for me to attach it around. Let's just see how that looks. Oh, I love that. I'm so doing it. Okay. So I'm going to turn this back to the back again. Put a dot of hot glue in the back. Place that garland into it. I'm going to hold that there for a second so it'll stay in place really well. Now as this comes around the top, I'm just going to put hot glue periodically, just because this is a wired garland, and if I don't, I'm afraid it might pop loose at some point. And now I'm back to the back again, so I'm going to seal that little edge down where it meets. That's super cute. I love that. Okay, she needs something else up there. I'm not sure what yet, but we'll get to that. I want to show you what I did. I took Dad's hat, and his scarf was the houndstooth, and I made it match his hat. I thought a dad would probably be very matchy-matchy. So I'm going to do the same thing with the greenery on him because I love how that looks. So I'm going to run that greenery around the top of his hat too. Look how good Daddy's hat looks. I love that on there. I'll bring him down some. I just love it. And I think I have some little scrap pieces here. I think I'm going to add them to the front because I want to put this poinsettia on his. I think that's manly enough for him to get a poinsettia. So I think I'm going to take these and just kind of fold them like they were leaves and kind of have it sticking up a little bit and just hot glue it. I'll show you. Let me just hot glue it real quick. So see how I just kind of glued that where it looked like holly leaves sticking out? And then I'm just going to put the poinsettia on there. And that is Dad's hat. Too cute. He looks very handsome, very stately. Okay, something else I want to do to the baby, which I think will be super cute. Let me show you this idea. I was sent these little wreaths. This is all stuff I was sent for the Christmas mini album, which I'm planning, by the way. We're getting there. It's a little tougher than I thought it was going to be, planning out how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to use one of these, and I'm going to hot glue it to him. And the reason I'm going to hot glue it, remember how I told you I might want to change this in the future? Well, you're pretty easily can peel hot glue off of glass. So I'm going to cut this little, these are ornaments. So I'm going to cut this little gold ornament hook off of here. And I want it to look like the little guy is carrying a wreath. So I'm going to put some hot glue. And I won't go too crazy because, like I said, I might want to change him up later. And I'll tilt him so you can see him. And I'm just going to glue that as if he were holding it in his hand. Now, hot glue and glass do not normally go well together, I'm just telling you. But this, because I want it to be fairly temporary, will be fine. It'll hold it there until I decide to change it again. Now, the only other thing I want to do is add something blingy to Mom's hat to give her a little bit of jewelry up there. So I dug out my button box, and I found this cute little button. I'll bring it for you to see it. This cute little button for her hat. But I also found this. I don't even know where this came from. How cute is this? I think I'm going to have to put this on the Daddy Snowman to look like a pocket watch. We're going to try. I don't know if it's going to work. But you know me. I'm willing to try it. I'm going to do that same trick with the extra holly to give it the look of the holly leaves. So I'm just going to trim a small piece. That stuff bounces. Then I'm going to fold it in a V shape like this. Okay. And then I'll hot glue it to her hat before we put on the little button. And that way it'll look like it has some holly leaves hanging out of it. So see how I did that? To just put it on there. Now I'm just going to hot glue this button good. And put that right where that holly leaf that we created is. Oh, that's cute. Really cute. Let me turn it a little bit more to the side. And now she looks like this. It's going to look so much better in pictures when I can show you. Okay, let's try this pocket watch thing. To me, this just looks like a pocket watch. You see this with the chain? And like I said, I'm going to hot glue this, so I think I will be able to... Now I just got to decide where to put it. You know, if I ever want to change it, I can. Oh, that's cute right there. Okay, you'll just have to see this in pictures. I'm sorry. I do not have a way to show you this, but I am going to do it and show you how it looks. Again, hot glue is not if you want it to be permanent. If you want it to be permanent, you need to do the E6000 and make sure you made it. Okay? But if you do the hot glue, this is something you can peel off if you ever decide to change it. Okay guys, so this is Vinnie's snowman family. Didn't he do good designing those little snowman bodies? I think he did. I think they are super cute. So you see the daddy is tall, you see his little pocket watch, which I think is so cute, and then mommy is shorter. She has kind of a fascinator hat, which I think is cute, and then there's a little baby carrying his wreath. And in pictures I'll show you even more up close so you can see everything, but I hope you enjoyed this one. And the glass products all came from Michael's, and the top hats came from Punch Place Plus, and I'll leave a link below so you can go grab some of those because I think they're adorable. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.